As he's coming up, would a member like to move Representative Jurgens' bill before the committee? Representative Erickson.
Madam Chair, I will move House File 55, and I'm not sure where you're intending to send it.
Thank you. I'm intending to lay it over for possible inclusion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Jurgens, your bill has been moved before the committee. Would you like to state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony, and then we'll get to your testifiers?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Tony Jurgens, State Representative, and here today to present to you House File 55. Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me the hearing on this. Some of you may recall from last year, we presented this bill in this committee, and it was included in the omnibus bill. During the walkthrough of the Education Omnibus Bill, then Commissioner Cassellius expressed that their support for this provision, thanked us on behalf of the governor for including it. Unfortunately, it was vetoed as part of the overall omnibus bill, and so that's why I'm back here today. The language in the bill is the same as it was last year. This is the bill that we refer to as the lunch shaming bill. You might recall from approximately November of 2017, there were news reports from Stewartville, Minnesota school district where students were experiencing, they would get to the lunch line and not have any money or enough money in their lunch account, and their lunches were being dumped in the garbage, which was already against state law. But we felt that we needed to tighten that up a little bit, and that's what this bill does. It specifically lists things like that can't be done, publicly shaming a student, and that's really the whole intent behind this. My feeling is that while the school districts deserve to be paid for those lunch meals, that's a transaction that should be done between the school district and the parents and not the kids. So in a nutshell, that is what this bill does. In addition to requiring the school districts to put their school lunch policy on their website so that parents can view that and understand what the policy is. Some school districts have what they call an angel account where if the child doesn't have money in their lunch account, the school can take money out of this angel account to feed the kids, and some school districts have their policy where they will have an alternative lunch. And we just want to make sure that is stated so that the parents know what they can expect from their school district. So with that, I know we have some testifiers, but in the interest of time, I'll conclude my statement for now.
All right. Would whoever would like to testify first, please state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members. My name is Jessica Webster. I'm a staff attorney with Legal Aid, and I want to thank Representative Jurgens for bringing this bill. We support this bill and have supported it in the past, and also Representative Erickson and other members of the committee who have also worked to kind of strengthen these protections for students. Legal Aid and Hunger Solutions Minnesota have been working on the issue of lunch shaming for many years. We actually, I believe, started working on this in 2011, 2012. Minnesota was really at the forefront of starting to address lunch shaming. And so I think we've been disappointed to see that there's still some districts that are still using some of these practices. Representative Jurgens mentioned Stewartville, where 143 lunches were dumped. When those lunches were dumped, Legal Aid did a data practices request to all districts, again, asking for written policies about what happens when a child comes to the lunch counter without money or has a lunch debt. And we found that I think since 2011, 2012, many schools have shifted away from using these shaming practices. Many schools have adopted best practices. They are attempting to, many schools feed children the hot lunch of the day, no matter what. And so that was really heartening. But we came across written policies that still prohibited children from participating in graduation ceremonies, wouldn't allow children to pick up caps and gowns if they had a lunch debt. There was even one school with a progressive discipline policy for a child that attempted to purchase lunch if they had a debt, with detention and suspension, withholding the ability to participate in field trips and special events. And so I think, as Representative Jurgens said, Legal Aid strongly believes that this is a transaction that needs to take place between adults. To date, Legal Aid hasn't opposed collection. Many districts use collection on families, and that's hard for us. We don't love collection. We don't love collection on low-income families for something that should be a basic need for kids. But to us, collection is a way to keep the transaction between adults, and so we haven't really addressed changing that at this time. So we appreciate your support. This bill perhaps doesn't go as far as advocates would like. We still have some heartburn about cheese sandwiches and some of the other practices, but for now, I think this is a good start, and we can continue to have this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Webster. And one more testifier? Please
Thank
state
you,
your name for the record
Madam
and
Chair,
proceed.
members of the committee. My name is Colleen Moriarty, and I am the Executive Director of Hunger Solutions Minnesota. As a leader of a statewide anti-hunger organization, in 2014, when this bill originally came before the legislature at the urging of the governor, I was proud as a Minnesotans to see that we were a leader in addressing the issue of lunch shaming. And when it passed as legislation to ensure that reminders of lunch payments would not stigmatize or demean students who participated in the free school lunch programs. Yet some students are still denied access to the same nutritious meal as other students. They're given instead a substitute meal, like a cheese sandwich. Children should never have their lunches taken away or dumped. This bill does a lot to address the issue by requiring schools to adopt and post a school meal policy, even one that includes collection, prohibiting schools from denying school lunch to a student who qualifies for free or reduced lunch, regardless of whether the student has an outstanding balance in the student meal account for any reason, and requiring schools to provide meals to participating students in a respectful manner that conforms with the school meals policy. I think this is absolutely the least we can do to assure that children have the access to a nutritious meal. I think that it's a right of students when they come to school that their expectation of not being shamed or not being humiliated in front of staff or in front of their fellow students is an absolute must. I encourage you to support this bill, and I've been very honored to work with you and with Legal Aid to bring forward this issue. Please help us stop these demeaning practices. Thank you for hearing my testimony.
Thank you, Ms. Moriarty. I'm going to open it up to the questions. Any member questions? Representative Moeller.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I don't know if it's a question or more of a comment. I think this is a great bill, and I really appreciate it. I just had an idea, and as a parent, I have kids in public school, and we pay for lunches for our students online, so I can pay in advance a certain amount. And I've always wondered, wouldn't it be possible if I could opt to pay more to help other children who can't pay for lunch? So it's just something it seems with the online system that maybe that would be a possibility.
Representative Jurgens.
Madam Chair, thank you, Representative. It's a great idea, and I think that that is something that I know there are several different programs that the school districts use to track their school lunch program, and I'm sure that they could make those systems available to do that. It would be up to the school district to implement it. There's nothing in this bill that prevents that from happening now.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone from the audience like to testify? Doesn't look like it. Representative Jurgens, final word.
Final comments. Thanks again for hearing my bill today and for those that helped me put this bill together. When we first started the process with this bill, it was a lot more restrictive, and it didn't go over so well with some stakeholders. And it really is a culmination of working with those stakeholders last session to get the wording right. And like Jessica said, it could go further, and yeah, it could, but I think that what we have here is a good bipartisan solution that a lot of the stakeholders have input on that have made this bill what it is today. And if we take it further down the road, that's for another day. But for today, I would just appreciate consideration for this.
Thank you, Representative Jurgens. And with that, we'll move House File 55 over to be included in an omnibus bill. Thank you.
Thank you.